Okay, this is gonna be a weird one. Check this out. So normally I would do like reacts to like well-known music videos, videos that have had a lot of hits on YouTube. I mean, listen, there's kind of a method to all this madness, right? When you start a React channel, you want to react to the popular music videos because those are the ones that are going to get hits, get views, that kind of thing. The thing is, lately, I've been really, really enjoying a TikTok channel, which is particularly weird because, like, I have a TikTok account. I have one video on there. I really don't spend that much time on it, but for whatever reason, this dude Sam Hairwolf Ryder has like every time I see one of his little video clips, like. It's so positive. The musicality is just so incredible. Like it's at such a high level. The guy's a phenomenal singer, and he's got a phenomenal TikTok channel. I think he's doing TikTok right. Like TikTok as a platform was made for guys like Sam Ryder. And so I want to take a look at a few of his videos. It's a little bit different format for this one than some of the other videos that I've done, but I hope that you all will enjoy it. I hope that y'all will consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. But if you're on TikTok and you're not following Sam Hairwolf Ryder, like, do yourself a favor and look this guy up. Because, like, every single time he posts a video, it's just a little injection of positivity to start out your day. And it's awesome. So we're going to get into it. What I'm planning to do is I'm going to cycle through a few of his videos since they're all just kind of short clips. And we'll talk about them. We're starting off with we're starting off with the Lazy Song by Bruno Mars. I don't feel like doing anything. I just wanna lay in my bed. This is really important. Don't feel like picking up my phone to leave a message at the tone. It's good. Water in my pants, watching Silence of the Lambs, teaching myself how to dance. I don't know, it's a busy day. He's gonna be very busy on his day off. Okay, so this is really important, and this is something that I think holds a lot of creators back. I am 100% guilty of this myself, so that's why I can recognize this when I see it now. Because I absolutely am guilty of this. It's this dude is, as far as I can tell, just using his phone. He's just, like the video quality isn't super great. Like, it's not bad, it's fine. It's not super great. He doesn't have any special lighting. He's like, just like standing in front of like an open window or something so he can get light on his face. And it's very obvious as you're watching him just kind of groove that he's singing with no like professional mic equipment or professional audio equipment. It's just him. It's just him and his voice. You can hear the natural reverb in the room. It's probably even just a little too reverby, which is fine. It actually like complements his singing quite a bit. And it's a way to get around the fact that he doesn't have any artificial reverb on the microphone that he's using to record. And he's just kind of jamming along to a set of speakers. Like that, the track isn't even being piped into the video through a separate audio channel. He's 100% just jamming. Like he'll put the track on, he'll jam along to it. It's probably like a karaoke track or something. I don't even know where he's getting these tracks from. But he'll put it on, he'll jam along to it, and he'll make a little TikTok video. And it's super fun and happy and positive, and like it's the perfect TikTok format video. I want to cycle through a few more of his. Let's check out the next one. Blinding Lights. No one's around to judge me. Yes. I can see clearly when you're on. I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. Yeah. I said, ooh, oh, he's so good. I'm drowning in the night. Oh, there. When I'm like this, you're the one I trust. Okay, so he's inserting little runs. There's especially with a song like this where there's a lot of long notes. Ooh, I'm blinded by the light, right? He's inserting little runs here or there just to kind of make it a little more interesting for himself, probably. I'm presuming, like, obviously I'm making some assumptions here. I don't know for sure. I don't know the guy. But there's little, he's injecting little runs here or there where normally there wouldn't be, or at least in the original performance there wasn't. And that's okay. Like that's he's like stylizing it. He's making it his own. But again, absolutely no special equipment. He's just doing this with his cell phone. And just making TikTok videos with like probably the front facing camera on whatever phone he has. And continuing to grind. The guy's got, it doesn't say how many followers he has on the web version. I probably oh no, there we go. He's at 6.8 million followers on TikTok. That's a lot of people. 6.8 million followers on TikTok. This video has 761,000 hearts, 761,000 likes, and a little over 10,500 comments. It doesn't say how many. It doesn't immediately tell me how many views this video has had, and this is where, like, because I'm watching this, I'm using the computer browser to watch this, like, on my computer, the same computer that I'm recording on. So I don't know for sure if like the web app would have a bit more information about the individual video. I would imagine so. But based on the information I have here, I mean, obviously the guy's doing fine. I follow him. He's one of the only TikTok channels I actually follow. Like I said, I don't spend a lot of time on TikTok myself. But if y'all can leave a comment and recommend more artists like Sam that would make TikTok, I think, a bit more compelling to me, I would like to. I would like to spend more time on TikTok. I would like to understand the platform a little bit more and be able to connect with the creators on that platform a little bit more. Sam, I think, has been able to connect with me in a way that like no other creator has so far that I've seen. My wife loves TikTok. She loves scrolling through TikTok. Sees all kinds of like crazy videos that people put up and whatnot. But like from the music standpoint, like I love Sam's delivery. I love the sound of his vibrato. Like he's got a really strong vibrato. You'll hear it in his long notes. And the guy just wails, man. He's got so much power behind his voice. I want to see what his next one is.
Can I ask you something? How would you like to fly? That's how my queen should fly. She still deserves a crown. Well, hasn't it been found? Mama, listen, senorita. I feel fine.
Oh, man.
You deal with things that you don't have to. He doesn't love you. I can tell by his sound. But you can feel this real love if you just say my
Justin Timberlake?
It's my favorite bit when he does this. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, come on.
Can I ask you something?
It's so unfair. It's so unfair. He makes it sound so friggin' easy. Just like he's like, oh, hang on. I'm just gonna do this run real quick, like up into the stratosphere and back down. It's fine. You just you sit there, I'll take care of this. And then he just goes up. Yeah, just crazy. And again, like no microphone, no extra special equipment. He's just doing it on his phone. Like you can hear, like if you're listening on decent headphones, or if you're listening on any kind of a decent sound system, you can hear that, like, obviously whatever music he's singing along to, he is just picking up as background noise for whatever microphone is on the phone that he's recording with. So like there's not a lot going on here. I would imagine it probably wouldn't take much for him to plug in a little mic. Something like this guy with, like this is the Rode Video Micro. I actually have a cable that allows me to plug this straight into a phone. It's a different cable than this one, but it's similar kind of cable where it's got a gray tip on the end and it's got the right kind of plug for plugging into a headset jack on a phone. And I could get much better quality audio out of something like this. This is like $60, so like it's not crazy to think that he could be using something like this just to get a little bit better audio than what his like built-in phone mic is capable of. That being said, built-in phone mics now, like if you have a good phone, not even a great phone, like you don't have to spend $1,000 on your phone to get a decent quality microphone and a decent quality camera. I'm still rocking a Pixel 3a. It cost me $400 brand new 2 years ago, and it does all right. I mean, not great. It's, obviously I've got this laying around just for such an occasion, but it's pretty good. Let's see what his next one is.
I know you have a little life in you. I know you have a lot of strength left. I should be crying, but I just can't let it show. I should be hoping, but I can't stop thinking of all the things I should have said that I never said. All the things we should have done, though we never did. All the things I should have given, but I didn't. Oh, darling, make it wrong. Make it wrong.
There's that vibrato again. So here's where the rubber really meets the road when it comes to singers, right? Like being able to belt, being able to hit big, huge notes, being able to hit real high notes. Obviously, like there's some element of that just comes down to genetics. Like naturally speaking, I can't hit those high notes. I can't. Even if I was a good singer, I couldn't. Like, I'm just not built that way physically. That's okay. There's a place in this world for baritones like myself. Just like there's a place in this world for tenors like him that can hit really high notes and sing really high parts almost effortlessly. Like, the guy makes it look super duper easy. I'm sure he's had years of training, and I'm sure he's been singing his entire life, and I'm sure he just, because he naturally has that high tenor voice, he kind of leans into it. Belts out the super high power notes, and then, he's got a really strong vibrato, sort of a strong natural vibrato. He leans into that too. He doesn't shy away from that's one of the signs that the guy really knows what he's doing as a singer. He doesn't shy away from any of his like natural features as a singer. If he naturally has a really strong vibrato, he will lean into that vibrato, and you hear it in his long notes all the time. It's just a signature part of his style and sort of what makes his performances unique to him. But when I talk about the rubber meets the road, what I'm talking about is how do those powerful, over-the-top singers do when it comes time to soften down, get really intimate, get really subtle. And here's an excellent example of somebody who is able to play both ends of the dynamic spectrum. So for those that aren't familiar, there's a term in music called dynamics. And it largely has to do with the volume of how you're playing, right? Really, really, really loud dynamics are considered forte or fortissimo. I've even seen some charts. So they're usually indicated by an F. If you're reading the music, underneath the music, you'll see like an F, or you'll see like a pair of lines that get gradually louder, almost like an alligator carrot, and then leading to an F, which means you start quiet and you get louder until you reach a fortissimo, which actually fortissimo is two Fs. So even louder than F, you have forte and then fortissimo, which is even louder than forte. And I've even seen some charts in my years of playing where they had three Fs. In fact, I think this is such a nerdy music nerd joke, but like there was a chart I played one time that had five Fs. I was like, I asked my director, I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? He's just like, break your horn. So because like normally like two Fs is like the highest, and then sometimes three, but like five Fs is whoever composed that was just being ridiculous. But okay, so you have on the one end you have the really loud stuff, which is forte, fortissimo, and then on the other end you have the really quiet stuff, piano, pianissimo, which is usually like a lowercase p, and that means really soft, really subtle, really quiet. Volume is only part of it when it comes to dynamics. Part of it is volume, and that's a large chunk of it, but also part of it is attitude. The way that you play a fortissimo song or a fortissimo note is going to be not just loud, but it's also going to be aggressive. It's going to be rhythmically aggressive. It's going to be in your face. It's going to punch you in the face musically. Versus piano or pianissimo, not only is it going to be quieter and softer and subtler, it's also going to be gentler. It's also going to be, you also want to deliver a pianissimo or a piano note with a lot more, I guess softness. I'm trying to think of another word here. A lot more subtlety, a lot more intention, but specifically like a almost like an empathetic intention. This is the reason why like slow songs make you really feel things, is where, you know, slow songs will play with the dynamic range as much as they're playing with things like pitch and tone. So hearing Sam here do something softer and slower, and gentler, and, you know, sort of making you feel that emotional range between the two dynamics. That's what really makes a ballad or a slow song, the emotional ride that it can be, versus, you know, say like a pop tune, like a lazy song, or like a Blinding Lights, where it's upbeat and it's driving and it makes you feel good and makes you want to dance. Something like this is more designed to make you feel emotions and make you think about maybe times in your life where you can identify with what the singer is trying to emote through the song. And that's generally what I look for when I'm looking for singers, and I'm trying to determine like whether like where that singer falls in terms of like the spectrum and range of artists that I've heard over my career. You know, like trying to determine, I guess this sounds really terrible, but like trying to determine their value as a singer. What really kind of what I look for first usually is, you know, what's their range look like? Are they able to do the loud, dancey stuff and also do the soft, gentle, slow stuff? And are they able to bring energy to both? Because that was the thing that was drilled into my head as a horn player growing up. Like, you have to be able to have energy to do both, but it's a different kind of energy. Playing soft and playing quietly does not mean that you let your energy fall off, or that you let the physicality of your performance fall off. Because at the end of the day, this music stuff, singing, is a physical thing. A lot of people don't equate that being a musician is very, very similar in a lot of ways to being an athlete. You have to train your body. You have to spend years not only teaching yourself mentally, but also teaching yourself physically how to be able to perform. It takes a lot for a singer to be able to sing for a 2-hour show night in and night out and not hurt themselves. It takes years of training. Somebody who hasn't spent those years training their vocal cords to be able to take that kind of abuse is not going to be able to do it. So part of what I respect in musicians like Sam here is that he obviously has spent years training his body to be able to physically perform at this level, and to the point where he doesn't need special equipment. He doesn't need special effects. He doesn't even really need a music track. He's just got a mic on his phone, and he's, you know, singing along to whatever's on his speakers behind him, and he's still killing it. Let's see what the next one sounds like.
Yo, get yourself a hot stone massage before trying this. Let's go. Color me your color, baby. Color me your color.
Blondie, yes.
Color me your color, darling. I know who you are. Come up off your color chart. I know where you're coming from.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I love that song. I am such a sucker for classic rock. Like when I started to do some bigger and better stuff in my career, one of the bigger shows that I do, not only this show, Rose City Comic Con, but also part of the reason I get to perform at Rose City Comic Con every year is because I also work with a local show here in Portland called the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. And the Portland Retro Gaming Expo is all about creating an arcade-style atmosphere from the 80s and 90s when they were playing a lot of 70s and 80s classic rock. And so I get to pull out whole crates of records of like classic rock records. And man, like it is such a fun jam every single year to be able to get out the classics, rock out with my friends and talk about video games and listen to things like Blondie, AC/DC, Foghat, Foreigner, Boston, Kansas. I mean, Queen. Every year, somebody asked me to play 2112 by Rush. Like the list just goes on. And there's so many great classics. Obviously, Sam's got a soft spot for the classics as well. Blondie was an incredible group. She was an incredible singer. And and so frankly, Call Me is one of my favorite Blondie tunes. So yeah, you got me there, Sam. I think that's one of the reasons why I like this guy's TikTok channel so much is because he and I have very similar tastes in music. Let's try to get one or two more in.
But you know that when the truth is told that you can get what you want or you can just get old, you're gonna kick off before you even get halfway through.
Billy Joel.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Why don't you realize Vienna waits for you? When will you realize Vienna waits for you?
Yeah, Billy Joel, Vienna, amazing song. Not a lot to say there. I mean, just Sam is so capable of almost any style. It's kind of unfair. Like it's a little bit unfair that the dude obviously has put in work. I mean, no disrespect. But there's a certain amount of work that you can put in to be able to be very capable as a musician. Training your body, all that stuff that we talked about. But at the end of the day, folks like Sam, there's a certain amount of their talent that they're just born with. And I'm glad that there's an outlet like TikTok that allows Sam to be able to share his talent with, how many is it? 6.8 million people and counting. So yeah, just so good. All right, one last one, we'll call it.
Cheers, wherever you are in the world. And the piano always sounds like a carnival. And the microphone smells like a beer. And they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar and say, man, what are you doing here? Oh, la, 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 dee-dee-da. La, da, dee-dee-da. Let's go. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody. You got us feeling alright. Cheers.
So I'm glad that we're ending there because it gives me a chance to talk about something else musically that I actually haven't had a chance to touch on this channel. Piano Man is in 3/4 time. What that means is there are 3 quarter notes. So the 4 in 3/4, the bottom number, 4 means that the quarter note gets the beat, which means that there's 4 beats per whole note. So each quarter note gets a beat. The top number, the 3, means that there's 3 beats per measure of music. And music, when you write it out, or when you're trying to like organize the music into like structure, you have to be able to determine how many beats there are in a measure of music, and then you extrapolate that out. How many measures are in a phrase? how many phrases are in a verse, how many verses before you get to the chorus, etc. So it all has to do with like how you structure a song and how you organize a composition when you create music. Billy Joel's Piano Man is one of the few well-known radio-friendly pop songs that's not in 4/4 time. 98% of the music you're going to hear on the radio is going to be in 4/4 time, which means you'll be able to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 for the entire length of the song. And by and large, mostly, you'll be able to keep that count going consistently and count your way through the entire song without losing a beat. However, with Billy Joel's Piano Man, it's in 3/4, which is more traditionally like a waltz. And so if you're familiar with any waltz music, you'll hear waltz music also is performed in 3/4 time traditionally. And so one of the other, I'm trying to think if there's other songs. I think I Put a Spell on You. I mean the original, yeah, but like if you're familiar specifically with the Creedence Clearwater Revival cover of I Put a Spell on You, I'm pretty sure that's in 3/4. Kiss from a Rose by Seal is another one that's in 3/4 time. These are things that like, especially as a DJ, if you're trying to mix music, it is almost impossible to be able to mix songs that are in two different time signatures. So if I have songs that are in 4/4 time, which is, like I said, about 98% of the songs that you're going to hear on the radio, and as an open format DJ, most of what I'm playing is radio stuff, right? So if you have a song in 4/4, you try to mix it with a song that's in 3/4, it's not going to work. It's never going to work. It just won't work. You have to do something to the song to add in that extra beat per measure, and then it's going to make that song sound really strange. An example that comes to mind is when they remixed the Mission Impossible theme for the 1994 reboot movie starring Tom Cruise. The Mission Impossible theme for the 1994 Mission Impossible movie, was it 95? 94. The mid-90s. The Tom Cruise, the first Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movie. They remixed the Mission Impossible theme. The original Mission Impossible theme from the TV show in the 60s, it was 60s or 70s. The old TV show theme from Mission Impossible, the TV show, was in 5/4 time. A lot of people were confused by that because it's not in 4/4. It's in 5/4. But the guys that produced the remix for the film in the 90s changed the song so that the theme was played in 4/4 time, and it sounds just a little bit off from the original. Kind of a crazy side-by-side if you get a chance to kind of check those two out and see how they differ from each other tempo-wise. But that being said, I said I was going to do one more, so we're going to call it there. Thank you very much for watching today. If you haven't had a chance, please make sure that you're following me on Facebook or Instagram.com/DJSwitchPDX. Of course, you're here at my YouTube channel, YouTube.com/DJSwitchPDX. I would truly appreciate it if you'd subscribe and make sure you hit the bell for notifications of when I post more videos. And last but not least, I'm currently streaming 4 nights a week on twitch.tv/DJSwitchPDX. As a matter of fact, it's getting about that time. I got to get set up for my stream. But you can find me at twitch.tv/DJSwitchPDX, where I'm streaming live 4 nights a week. I'm doing music Mondays and Wednesdays. I've got gaming on Fridays, and I'm doing a podcast, a tech and geek culture podcast on Sunday nights. That podcast is going to be posted very soon here on the YouTube channel. And I'm working on just putting a whole playlist together of all the episodes that we've done so far. So you can look forward to that. The podcast is called Artificial Intelligence. So you'll be seeing that pretty soon here on YouTube. But if you want to see it live, head over to twitch.tv/DJSwitchPDX. Give me a follow over there and find out when I'm going to be streaming next. All right, that's going to do it for me on this one, y'all. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.